Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have a continuation of the Bill Laimbeer and Larry Bird beef, but we're gonna hear the stories between Larry Bird versus the Bad Boys Pistons. Or a shout out to Prime Larry Bird for the content. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
They go to Henderson, blocked by Mahorn, and a foul by Mahorn. I'll tell you, not Henderson, but Maxwell went slamming to the floor on that block by Rick Mahorn.
He hit me so hard. I never got hit so hard before in my life. And then stood over me, flexing. Man, I had like the best moves on the inside. I give Rick Mahorn my little pump fake, get him up in the air. Most guys try to avoid not getting the contact. They jump away from me. You go up with two hands, come down, hit me, and then you tell me, dude, don't fake me like that again. That was too good.
No way.
And you're the one of the few guys that got your money's worth.
Rick could have had two personal fouls with that one. Whoa, crowd still buzzing about that.
The competition we had back then, it was never, I don't like Chief, I don't like, Mikhail, I don't like Brad. It's not a dislike. It's just 48 minutes. I'm gonna try to kill you because I want to beat you. And it's like I ain't got no friendship with you for 48 minutes. Jeff Rulin is my brother. Bill Laimbeer, as much as people don't like him, he's my brother. But if I have to play, I'm trying to kick their ass.
In the 80s, the Bad Boy Pistons were the most hated team in the league. And if Rick Mahorn was the enforcer,
They was the most hated team in the league. Comment down below the reasons why and comment down your stories. Damn, they were the most hated. I always wanted to, I guess this is I could say a prequel. No, dang, I said it wrong. A prequel, like a sequel. I might be pronouncing it wrong, whatever.
then Bill Laimbeer was the instigator. And nobody hated Bill Laimbeer more than Larry Bird.
You never really ever liked Laimbeer in any social situation?
No.
Yeah.
And it's because he was a dirty player. The 80s, when I played, there was a lot of cheap shots. If you go back and watch the Pistons playing against Chicago, I mean, Michael and Scotty were getting pounded. And a lot of it happened after the whistle. Like you're going in and you get fouled and the guy goes ahead and tries to, that's a free foul. Ricky Mahorn, he'd hit you and all that, but he'd hit you, you know you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
But he didn't try to maim you.
Right.
Bill tried to hurt you.
Got it back, so they reset it at 5. Laimbeer walked with it, then committed a foul, knocked Bird to the floor. Celtics are very unhappy about it.
Yeah, caught Bird in the jaw.
Yeah.
And Larry's a little upset.
And, he was one of them guys, you shoot a jumper, he tried to slide his foot underneath your ankle so you twist your ankle. And that's why Parrish
Did he really used to do that?
If you watch any of our old games, Parrish was always twisting his ankle against.
Damn it, man. I was just talking about that in the last reaction. I remember players like Zaza Pachulia. I'm probably butchering his name. I apologize. He'll slide his foot under a player when they come down from a jumper just to twist their ankle, man. Bro, how dirty can you be?
The Pistons. So one time I shot a jumper and Laimbeer did it to me and I stepped on his foot, but I stepped on a high and twist my ankle. I don't know, a quarter or two later, he was shooting that jumper. I slid mine on there. That's the last time he ever did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah. Okay. That makes sense. They want to do it to you, you teach them a lesson and do it to them so they could stop.
When Bill Laimbeer was called the NBA's dirtiest player by Michael Jordan,
Laimbeer and Jordan.
Here we go.
Yes, indeed. There are punches thrown.
he responded in a way that really showed his true colors.
Michael Jordan may be a very good, outstanding basketball player, but as a individual, down-to-earth, heart person, he has, I mean, who is he? Who cares about him?
Who is he? Who cares about him? Damn.
All he does is play basketball. In the world, he's this big.
Yeah.
Was he low-key racist? Damn. I wonder how he feels about MJ now after everything, the impact that MJ had in the 90s, yada, yada.
I can see why nobody liked him.
The reason this league is as soft as it is because of them damn Detroit Pistons. You guys did not only foul once. Detroit had the shit where they would foul you once, but that gave the other dude the chance to foul your ass.
Wait, so what Cedric Maxwell just mentioned, it's soft today because of what the impact that the Bad Boys Pistons had? Is that why the rule changes? Maybe the rule changes happen or something? I don't know. Somebody help me out in the comments.
The funny thing is that we knew, okay, like Dominique would come to the hole. Do you remember how Neek would come up to the hole? We'd foul him once, and then next year we fouling him again because it's like, we told you don't get up in here and try to dunk on our ass. We're going to try to, you come in, you're going to feel that floor.
Bro, come on, man. This is crazy.
Well, it was him and Mahorn, where I got hit right below my neck and in the small of my back, and I went like they snatched you out of the air. And I remember, I was like, I wasn't hurt, but I was shocked. I said, they didn't just snatch me out of the air. And I jumped up and I just started swinging.
Wilkins gets knocked to the deck, and once Mahorn. Isaiah's all over Kevin Willett. Hugh Evans in the middle of it trying to break it up.
Oh, man, that Piston team, that was the rise of that Pistons team when they ultimately got to the championship, because now they started to build that personality of the Bad Boys.
And now Barkley gets into it, and he and Laimbeer. And now there are some punches thrown.
Bro, they was the most hated. Everybody want to smoke with them. I don't blame them either. If I was a part of the NBA at that time, I want to smoke too. That's crazy. That is crazy.
And when Robert Parrish, who got into a fight with Bill Laimbeer 3 years in a row, was questioned about Bill Laimbeer, he said, I was always taught, if you can't say something nice about someone, then don't say anything at all. So I'm saying nothing at all. But even Isaiah Thomas, who was Bill Laimbeer's teammate for 11 years on the Bad Boy Pistons, had this to say about him. To tell you the truth, if I didn't know Bill, I wouldn't like him either.
I don't give an inch at all on the court. I don't give anybody any respect. I think that's the major problem with a lot of other players is I don't respect their game. If they happen to get in the way, well, that's not my fault.
How you don't respect their game? Bro, you're supposed to be so-called quote-unquote enforcer, but you're playing dirty, bro. Like, come on, man. You're playing dirty. This thing firing me up right now, just hearing the way that he's speaking. Bro, it's a game of basketball. It's not football. Go play football or something like that. It's uncalled for in this sport.
That's their fault. I make no apologies for my game throughout my career. Whatever the general public thinks about my style of play, I really could care less.
But Bill Laimbeer wasn't the only hated Detroit Piston. In fact, Larry Bird had a very personal hatred for Kent Benson, who was Larry Bird's college teammate before Larry dropped out and transferred to a different school. Larry Bird hated Kent Benson so much that every time the Celtics went up against Kent Benson's team, Larry tried to embarrass him, like in 1985 when the Celtics played the Pistons at the Hartford Center.
I don't know if you remember this game, Larry, but we playing in Hartford, and we walk out on the court, and Benson is guarding Larry, right? And Larry looks at me and he was calling me cheesy. He goes, cheesy, like you putting him on me? you putting him on me? I was like, that's all I got, man. That's all I got right now.
Loop it to Parrish. Bird comes around the screen. Larry, good
Hey,
up fake.
put that.
He hits.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the early matchup, having Benson on Bird.
Larry, a little behind the back pull-up. 2 more.
It's personal.
Now, Bird's got a little bit of a quickness advantage on Benson, and if he stays outside, he can utilize.
This is probably before he hated Bill. Bill. But the two most hated individuals on the same team, same time.
That advantage.
Bird just kind of playing with Benson over there.
No. This is personal.
About 5 fakes and hits.
Larry Bird toyed with Kent Benson and gave him shot
Larry for 3.
after shot
2:15 to play. Bird again. Got it.
after shot.
Bird wants the ball on Benson. Hits again.
Absolutely no hesitation.
They go right back to Larry, who's immediately fouled by Benson.
Well, Benson's got to be talking to himself at this point. Larry has hit everything, and Benson is trying different things to try to get Larry off his game.
And by halftime, Larry Bird had 24 points. And what happened at the end of this game was so poetic that even the best NBA scriptwriters could have never imagined it. But something special happened during halftime that added just a little bit more fuel to the fire of that Celtics versus Pistons rivalry.
And we play a game every year, 1 game in Hartford. Rick comes out in the halftime. The mayor of Hartford comes out, Italian guy, comes out, and Rick Mahorn brings Rick Mahorn's mom out. And then finally the mayor just leans back and goes, Rick, kiss your mama, Rick, kiss your mama. Ricky, kiss your mama, Ricky, kiss your mama. And for the rest of the night, that's all we would say.
Hey, look,
Mahorn, kiss your mama.
But Brad, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, it's funny. That's what Larry Bird. I think we're in a car together. I'm posting him up, and he's laughing, and he was telling me something. He's like, "Cause you started that shit, kiss your mama," and then we playing.
You started that,
Hey,
I didn't start that shit.
They were booing me in Hartford. I'm like, well, motherfucker, I'm from here. Soon as that shit started, I said, man, I hate Boston. And I was rooting for the Knicks all the time.
Oh,
I couldn't stand Boston. Still don't like Boston.
But aside from those halftime shenanigans, what did Kent Benson do to make Larry Bird hate him so much? Well, it all started during Larry Bird's freshman year at Indiana University.
I wanted to go Kentucky, but Kentucky quit recruiting me, so it was down to Indiana State and IU, so I went to IU.
I get back to campus, and I see Scott May and my brother, Lauren, who happened to go to Indiana University. And I asked my brother, I said, well, where's this kid named Bird? And my brother says, yesterday I saw him out on this road, and it's called 37. I saw him on 37 with his luggage. I think he went home.
Quinn, to this day, says to me, the thing that he regrets most is that when you first went down to school, he's not being there for Larry the first 2 weeks or so that he was at school at Indiana, because he still feels that had he been there, we'd be talking about it.
What happened in those What happened in those 2 weeks? What transpired?
Can you imagine him and Coach Knight together with Quinn Buckner?
No, I can't. That's
it would have been. I think the basketball gods were like, "Nah, we can't let this happen."
In Larry Bird's book titled Drive, The Story of My Life, Larry Bird said, "Things went well in the beginning. I didn't have any problems at first, but point blank, Kent Benson treated me terribly. He treated us freshmen as if we were idiots. Benson came down one day while I was shooting and just took my ball and went to the other end to shoot. He said, 'You freshmen don't deserve a ball.' Benson would come along and pull this stuff just about every day. When they chose sides, I never got to play. Benson had no idea what I could do, but he continued to treat me like a jerk, like I was nothing. I couldn't believe the way Benson was acting."
That's a villain origin story right there. For real.
And after 24 days at Indiana University, Larry Bird had had enough. and finally decided to leave school.
I couldn't stay.
Okay.
Reg, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It wasn't I was homesick or I didn't like the coach. I don't think me and Coach Nye would have had a problem because I never had a problem with my coach.
I don't think that I was quite smart enough or quite understanding enough of Bird's situation. I kind of approached it when he left toward the end of September. Well, you know, I wouldn't have chased May or Buckner or Abernathy, and I'm not going to chase Larry Bird either. Well, probably at that point in his life, Larry needed somebody to chase him a little bit and to show a little bit more compassion for his situation than I did at that time.
Did you feel like a failure when you were hitchhiking home?
No, I was glad to get out of there. The only thing I was worried about was when I got home how my family would react. And I can remember my mom was mad at me for 3 or 4 months after that. The first month we didn't even speak. And I can understand that, but I made the decision to leave and I was going to stick by it. I had everybody talking to me, trying to get me to go back, but I couldn't.
Larry Bird said, "Ever since then, I wanted the Celtics to beat Benson's team whenever we play.
You know, the funny thing is, I remember the story during the multiple documentaries that I watched, reacted to. I did not know this was a part of the story of why he left Indiana University.
Got a kick in 1985 when Kevin McHale set the Celtics scoring record of 56 points in a game when Kent Benson was guarding him.
31-28. McHale, yes, and a foul. What a quarter Kevin McHale's having.
I'll tell you, he got great position on Benson that time. Benson was trying to deny him the ball. Laimbeer was over trying to help out. He got there a little bit too late.
It's a matchup Kevin usually thrives on. Short, tapped in McHale.
Boy, what an offensive quarter.
Celtics again are going to work on the Benson-McHale matchup. Boy, Benson is really leaning all over McHale. They find him, and he 2 taps and it's home.
Benson got so frustrated in the third period that he picked up 2 quick tees and got ejected.
Blaine Reichelt, I think, has something on Kent Benson. Got to be a tee. I don't know which way Reichelt's going. And he's gone. Benson has just been tossed from the game.
That's very unlike Kent Benson. Ended up with a red face walking.
Yeah, I could see why he was bullying them freshmen over there at Indiana University. You could just see his behavior and demeanor, dog. They're meant for each other. Benson and Bill Laimbeer.
Off the court, he was really
They're
hot.
meant
But Larry Bird got
to be
his
teammates.
revenge in the second half of that 1985 game in Hartford. Because after Larry Bird torched Kent Benson in the first half, Isaiah Thomas took over for the Pistons in the second half.
You might have heard Maxwell yelling out, "Switch, DJ," and then Isaiah just bangs it home anyway outside.
For Robert down low.
19 for Parrish. Isaiah, hoop-de-doo. Got it. Good grief. Isaiah must have looked at the halftime stats and said, "I'm going to go catch Larry here." Isaiah in traffic. In and a foul.
And as the game came down to the wire, the Celtics were only up by 1 point. The Pistons had the ball and Isaiah Thomas was going for the win.
Well, I think they're going to go for the win myself. I think they're going to run the clock down and take 1 shot and try to win it. Then spread the floor for Isaiah, who's running the clock down. Why not? You're on the road. Yep. Roll the dice and see what happens. Here's Isaiah. Pull up. Got it! With 4 seconds left. What a player.
Here it is. Isaiah goes to the Laimbeer pick, doesn't use it, reverses, comes back, and cans the jump shot.
Isaiah Thomas in this ball game has 33 points and 18 assists, which means
33 points, 18 assists. Yeah, that's coming soon. Isaiah Thomas series.
he has accounted for 69 of Detroit's 130 points. Not bad for a 6'1" guard, huh?
Not a bad night's work.
And with 4 seconds left, the Celtics down by 1. everyone knew that the ball was going to Larry Bird.
I'm sure the Celtics will try and get the ball into Larry's hands somehow, some way. Whether he elects to shoot it or to get it inside will be, I think, determined by what the defense does.
Just 2 days earlier, Larry Bird was in this exact same situation versus the Portland Trail Blazers, down by 1 with only 2 seconds left on the clock. And Larry Bird did this.
DJ again to make the inbounds pass. The double team in Bird. Larry, fake, fall away. Hits it! The buzzer!
Cold-blooded. Dang.
Unbelievable.
Shall we take another look at this one? Bird gets out as far as he can go. Gives a fake to try and draw the foul. One dribble, the fall away, Hail Mary prayer, please go in shot. And
I'm not gonna lie, them two seconds felt forever.
And there it is, folks.
Final score here at the Garden. Boston 128. Portland 127.
But this time, as Larry Bird finds himself in a situation that he's been in many times before, the only thing standing between Larry Bird and victory is Kent Benson. And then this happens.
Bird had a little smile on his face as he came out, too. All right, here's Dennis. Gets it into Bird. Larry, a runner. Got it! Ball game's over. Boston wins.
A game-winning shot on your college bully after destroying him all game long. Sounds like poetic justice to me.
Begin. Does a little pirouette, heads up the floor.
Shows a little more emotion this time.
All right, give him 5, Larry. Final score, 131-130. Celts, we'll be back.
And he goes, I'm taking right down to the baseline. I'm shooting right over him. So after the game, our buses were lined up next to each other, right? And Larry goes, hey, man, don't ever put that guy on me. Like, right?
And for some reason, the Detroit Pistons had quite a few players that Larry Bird didn't want guarding him. But it wasn't for the reason that you might think.
Now, our back line at one time, it was Kelly Tripucka, Bill Laimbeer, Kent Benson. 3 white dudes. Okay? All right? So we walk out on the court, and he said, who guarding me? And I was like, I got Kelly.
Bird right over Tripucka. Kelly Tripucka cannot do too much with Larry Bird.
Got Lamb.
Bird, baseline move.
No trouble, right around Bill Laimbeer. No way he could stay with him.
I got Benson.
Out to Ainge. Bird has beat them all down the floor. Benson and Bird. Yes!
He's like, you ain't got no brothers? He said, hey, man, you can't put no white dude on me.
Hey,
that is straight disrespect. So check this out. So the next year we come back, I said, I got somebody for your ass, right?
Yeah.
He said, who you got? I said, Rodman.
Unfortunately for Dennis Rodman, he couldn't check Larry Bird any better.
Right here, Rodman makes a rookie mistake. When he hears the whistle, he should have grabbed him. He let him finish the shot. And when you hear that whistle, Bob, you got to grab him. You can't let him get 3.
5 fouls guarding Larry Bird.
It was 86, 87. So we was playing Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. So they gave me the task of guarding Larry Bird. Guarding Larry Bird, I'm like this 25-year-old rookie in the league. They said, Dennis, you have to guard him. So I'm guarding him. And every time I turn my head, he's over there in the 3-point line. He said, I'm over here, Rook. I'm like, 2
shot blockers, Rodman and Sally. Bird for 3. Well, Rodman took a nap that time.
I got to go out there and run out there like a dumbass. Let's go out there, try to contest him. If he hit the 3, I'm like, okay.
And in that 1987 Eastern Conference Finals, nobody could guard Larry Bird. The only defense against Larry Bird was to try and injure him. And lo and behold, that's exactly what the Bad Boy Pistons tried to do in the most iconic series of the entire 80s. Because in Game 4, it got crazy.
Open people.
See Sting, and the 24-second clock goes down, and Bird and Laimbeer go at it. Larry Bird and Bill Laimbeer have both been ejected from the game.
Now there's Bird throwing the ball at Laimbeer, and Rodman coming over.
Larry Bird said, Laimbeer was backing away from me and didn't want any part of me. I wish they would have just cleared the court for about 15 minutes and just let us go at each other. And Bill Laimbeer, in classic Bill Laimbeer.
Hey, why can't we have the little hockey rule that we having? Boy, what I tell you, hockey, man, they let you battle that thing out, man. We need something like that in the league. Give me 2 to 5 minutes, man. Whoever loses gotta get ejected. Yo, let me know about that rule change, man. I think I should be the commissioner of the NBA.
Beer fashion, he said, I didn't do a thing. I tried to grab hold of him to break his fall, and Larry came up swinging. I was victimized. And Larry Bird responded, sure, he wasn't trying to hurt me. And I was trying to throw the ball at the referee. Bill's face just got in the way.
When you play the same team 4, 5, 6, 7 times right in a row within the space of about 2 weeks.
Hey, shout out to Red, man. As a head coach, that guy right there, genius.
It's got to be bad temper. Our ball club, I always feel, were retaliators, not instigators. And I think the other team, like Detroit, they are the instigators.
And in that next game, when Bill Laimbeer tried to come out and shake Larry Bird's hand, Larry looked at Bill and said, "Go f yourself."
I'd say the same thing.
Always have respect for my opponents, Larry said. But in my instance, I think Laimbeer was trying to hurt me. So in Game 5, the Celtics got their revenge.
I was at the game, and the crowd just had so much hatred for Laimbeer for that game. I've never been in any sort of a sporting event where the crowd hated a player that much. And I still am convinced to this day that the crowd convinced Parrish to punch him in the second quarter.
Oh, no question.
Very gingerly tried to shoot that shot.
Nice play by Darren Day. It doesn't fall. The tip by Parrish. He can't get it to fall, and Parrish takes Laimbeer to the ground with a right forearm. Well, they had said it was only a matter of time till somebody did this.
Laimbeer, he had it coming. That's, yeah. He had it coming.
Because you watch the replay, and it was like barely he did anything.
It should have happened 2 plays before.
The cameras just got the part where Robert got mad, see? But nobody saw Laimbeer's elbow that hit him in the neck.
Oh, bro, it's right there, dude. What the freak? Wrong with this guy?
Right by the Adam's apple. And all he did was react because people are sick and tired of this guy with the baby face, putting his hands up all the time. Who, me? Meanwhile, he'll sucker punch you, he'll do everything in the game. So as I said once before, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah, I was kind of looking over my shoulder, Max. I thought I was going to get sucker punched, to be honest. In the heat of the battle, we exchanged a few unpleasantries, then a few elbows that passed between us, and then I just lost throwing punches. So I couldn't believe I lost my composure like that. That was the first time ever.
This play epitomized 80s basketball because not only did this flurry of punches result in no ejections and no technicals, but they didn't even call a foul.
Where's this nowadays? Huh? Now, no fouls being called here, but nowadays every second there's a foul being called.
They just kept playing. Larry Bird called it a good deed. But sometimes, in the words of the great Frank Sinatra, the best revenge is massive success. Because later on that game, Larry Bird made the greatest play of his entire career.
We knew we had to win that game. Both teams knew that whoever won game 5 was probably going to win the series. Casey had to play the starters almost the whole game. And so our guys were just completely worn out.
There's Bird off the screen from the corner. Big basket by Larry Bird. That's a two-pointer. Detroit by 3 with 1:13, and Bird has 36.
The Celtics had been to the finals in 84, 85, 86, and now it's 87. We're all beat up. The guys that are playing are hurt. So, you know, it was just guts. It was just a guts and pride.
3:41 to go in the game. Detroit leading by 2. And that man is playing on nothing but heart. He went out with an ankle injury that would keep most people out of the game, came back in, and now he's twisted it again.
Now, the Boston moment, that was a heartbreaking moment. What was heartbreaking about that moment is I had made the game-winning shot.
Everybody wants to beat the Pistons. Right now, Boston is first in line in that desire. They lead by 1, 27 seconds to go.
But I was on Isaiah Thomas, and he went one-on-one against me at the top of the floor. I thought I played pretty good defense, and Isaiah didn't get in the paint, and he took a jump shot, a contested jump shot, and it went in.
Out on the top of the floor against Seaston.
16 seconds. Seaston right in his face. Thomas with a very big.
That was some good defense, no. That was some good defense.
We go to the timeout. We know Bird's going to get it either on the left side or the right side. And we got the play figured out. We sent him left. About 5 of us come over there to try to block the shot.
There's Bird with the ball against Mahone.
He'll take it to the hoop. You can bet. He's going to try to draw a foul.
It's blocked. And Seaston hit it off of a Detroit player. No.
When you threw the ball off of Jerry Seaston's, when you guys were playing in the playoffs, and you were like, yes, sir, and it was going the other way, take us through what happened after that.
Yeah, it was this. I have to. I did a great defensive play on Bird. And it was like it went right off Larry. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I was excited about I beat him up because here's the thing. Before I beat him up, man, Brad, I remember when I switched out on him and he yelled out, "Hey, Mayhorn, you on me?" And I hate when somebody call me Mayhorn. That looking at me with that old shit grin. And Bird went like, "You on me? Clear." I said, "All right, okay." I said, "I'm gonna get you," and that right there made me going like, "Yeah, I finally got him." Because he, you know, he's a bad boy. Yeah. I ain't never gonna disrespect him, but it was like, man, I knocked it off his leg. I'm like, okay, we got their ass now. We got their ass. And I was pumping my fist, but I was looking over there at the bench, and Chuck Daly was telling me to call timeout because I'm the guy that takes the ball out. And that doggone Isaiah took the ball out, and I love Zeke to death. And I'm gonna tell you, he said it. He had a brain fart, whatever.
Ball goes out of bounds, and I'll never forget, everything went in slow motion. So I run over, we look at the bench, no timeout, nothing. So I run over and I grab the ball.
Detroit should have called a timeout, Brian, because they had a timeout left. They could advance the ball down to the other end of the floor. There's a shot somewhere, there's a photo that I saw that Chuck Daly is standing by their bench with his hands up, calling timeout. Isaiah, I remember to this day, he's standing there like this to the referee, "Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball."
So I'm sitting there looking, pumping my fist and looking at Chuck. Chuck was called, had the timeout high in the air, and I'm getting turned around. I'm about to tell the referee timeout. No.
Hold on. No, let me let it.
He took the ball out.
So I grabbed the ball from.
So I'm guessing Isaiah Thomas was the one that was supposed to call timeout at that point with the inbound. It can't be any player on the court, and it can't be any coach.
The referee, Laimbeer's good foul shooter. I never had taken the ball out. That wasn't my thing, right? I throw it up. Bird sneaks in. I didn't even see him.
Bird was moving right when he was inbounding the pass. And when you look at it from a couple different film angles, I mean, he threw it right to him on the move. And I had my back to where he was stealing the ball. So when I turned around, I was probably more shocked than anybody in the whole stadium that Bird had the ball in his hands.
And this is probably one of the most incredible plays that's ever happened against me and that probably I've ever witnessed. From an athletic standpoint, two people being in sync and just Bird just playing every second. And that's what the Celtics taught us, to play every second, not to play 47 and a half minutes, but to play a full 48.
And he had a smirk on it. He knew the game was over, and he almost had a smile on his face when they gave him the ball, and he did not see Bird at all.
But the thing I remember the most is that Joker. This is the out of bounds line. That Joker caught the ball, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, he going out of bounds. That dude did this, like a ballerina, right? And if you go back and you watch the play, that dude is on his toes. The baseline is right up under his toes. And in my mind, he must have stood there for about 5 seconds because everything was going in slow motion in my mind, right? And it's like, damn, how you doing that? And then DJ, out of nowhere, right? Right. They are so in tune. They are so in sync. He catches the, Bird hits him. He catches the basketball, lay it up.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right at 1 second left. What a play by Bird.
I'm walking to the huddle, and as I come back out of the huddle, right, we try to take the ball out of bounds or whatever. Larry walks by and he goes, wow. Winks at me, right? I'm like,
Oh. That's a hell of a play by Larry Bird.
The hell of a play was when I blocked the shot.
No, okay, yeah, all right.
I blocked the shot.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's the first play. I blocked
That's
the
the
shot.
first play. That set up the greatness for Larry Bird.
And if you see that play at the end, and when they scored the basket,
yeah.
If you see Isaiah Thomas run outside out of bounds, guess who he's looking at? I'm by myself underneath the basket. I'm by myself underneath the basket right there. He was going to throw it to me. So it could have been a different story.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it wasn't.
And that was game 5, and it's like, jeez, it's like, damn, we done fought these Celtics it was so long, and in that locker room, it was just sad that, Isaiah felt really bad because he knew I was supposed to take the ball out. But I don't bring that up to him all the time. I only bring it up to him.
We had a chance to talk to him about that play. And he said, I felt like shit when I got in that locker room.
And in Game 7, Larry Bird carries the Celtics to a win with 37 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, and a random left-handed shot on none other than Dennis Rodman, just because he was bored.
One of the great fourth quarters in NBA playoff history, Game 7 against Detroit in 1987, Larry Bird suddenly, for no explicable reason, decided to bank in a left-hand 15-footer.
For each side. 4:42 and running. Bird's left-hander goes.
Get that one out of the book. I haven't seen that one in a long time.
And I can tell you, talking to Magic Johnson, that the Lakers were watching that game. This guy just about fell off the chair, just laughing. And I asked him about it. It was just because. He was amusing himself in a playoff game.
After the Celtics won Game 7 and Bill Laimbeer tried to shake Larry Bird's hand as they walked off the court, Larry just ignored it and walked straight through it. Larry said, "I don't like Bill Laimbeer. Why should I shake his hand?" But the post-game hatred didn't stop there, because Dennis Rodman made one of the most controversial comments in NBA history.
An unsophisticated Dennis Rodman is asked about Larry Bird, and let's be real. It's probably the first time in Dennis Rodman's life that a white guy tuned him up on the basketball court.
Dennis Rodman just went to Larry Bird University.
So after the game, I said, that's the question. How do you think? What do you think about Larry Bird? Please don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted when I'm gonna say this, because I actually said this. I know what I was saying because I was so young and stupid. And I said, if he was black, he'd be just an average basketball player.
Yeah, you got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got a lot of flack.
Yeah.
Like it was yesterday.
I'm just saying that's actually what I said back then.
And was immediately forced to apologize. Keyword, forced. Rodman's PR agent, Billy Diamond, called him and said, "Do you actually believe that?" "Yeah," Rodman said. "Are you crazy? The guy's one of the top players ever to play in the league." "Well, Isaiah said it too. Who gives a He sounds just as dumb as you. You're going to issue an apology now. We're going to release a statement." "No, I'm not," Rodman said. "Yes, you are. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you."
We all know who Rodman is and was. And Rodman, still today, you put a mic in front of him, you don't know, right? That's just, unfortunately, that's how it was with him, right? So my job as captain is let me try to help and protect.
Dennis Rodman said, if Larry Bird was a black guy, he'd just be another black guy.
Oh, Dennis said it.
Right.
Dennis
and then they run over to Isaiah. They go, Dennis just said, if Larry Bird was, and Isaiah said, I guess he's right, right? Like, it's a sensational thing that he's a white guy and he plays this well. Because, it's, the league is full of, black people.
Mm-hmm. I think Larry is a very, very good basketball player. I think he's an exceptional talent. But I'd have to agree with Rodman. If he was black, he'd be just another good guy.
He wasn't saying anything.
So he wasn't nothing malicious.
It wasn't a diss. No.
It's the truth.
So they kind of put it in a way, there was no way for Isaiah to get out of it, except, man, leave me alone, man. I got to take a shower. But he couldn't do that.
So he got the bad rap for something. He just, like you said, there was no malicious intent behind it.
None. Larry Bird and Isaiah are cool. And they did a press conference right after that.
Oh, good.
If the statements or whatever was said doesn't bother me, I don't think it should bother any of us. But if Isaiah tells me that it was a joking matter, I think we should leave it at that.
Now, I know Larry Bird said that Dennis Rodman and Isaiah Thomas's comments didn't bother him, but the next time they played at the Boston Garden, it looked like Larry Bird had something to prove, because even in severe pain all through the 1988 season, where Larry Bird developed bone spurs in both feet that required surgery and caused him to miss an entire year of basketball,
The pain was just too much.
Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to school Dennis Rodman one last time, but this time it was personal.
They clear the zone. It's Bird one-on-one with Rodman. Bird fakes.
Yeah.
Dominique Wilkins had the greatest quote anybody's ever had about Larry Bird. He said, when you're playing against him, you're looking into the eyes of an assassin. Good team. Larry Bird in the lane with the left hand again. Bird with the left hand. Amazing. Amazing. Well, again, Rodman has done a good job with Bird to make that shot, and he does. Rodman did all you can legally do.
Dennis Rodman said, "I would be all over him, trying to deny him the ball, and all Larry was doing was yelling at his teammates, 'I'm open, hurry up before they notice nobody's guarding me.'"
In the middle so much and try to find Larry Bird. Ames finds him in three-point country. Good job by Ames. Bird has 16.
"Coach, you better get this guy out and send in somebody who's gonna D me up, because it's too easy when I'm wide open like this."
About 20 feet away from the hoop. Bird shoots the J. Yes. He's got 29. Gilmore sets the pick. Now it resolved. Bird one-on-one with Rodman.
And one. Damn, he cooking.
32 for Bird. Detroit
Cooking.
Dominique Wilkins said it. When you look into Larry Bird's eyes.
He fouls out. Damn.
During the game, you're looking into the eyes of an assassin, and he may have just squeezed off the final round against Detroit, Steve Jones, at least in this game.
When you get embarrassed like that while being trash talked before and after every bucket, I guess you just never get over it.
Boston 121, Detroit 110. Still not since December 19th, 1982, as Detroit won a game in the Boston Garden. They've lost 20 in a row.
Robin, for some reason, maybe because Bird was beating him, he don't like Larry Bird.
He felt salty.
Rodman in a collision with
He felt salty.
Bird.
As the shot goes up, check the battle out underneath. A headbutt, double arm wraparound, and a takedown trip by Dennis Rodman to Larry Bird.
You know I hate that damn leprechaun in the middle of the floor. I try to kick that shit. If I can get over there and just scrape his face off there.
You're trying to Kyrie Irving there, yeah.
Larry Bird's sitting next to you right now. Would you talk to him? Would you have a conversation with him? What would you say?
I'd probably go to a different table.
And when the Celtics retired Larry Bird's jersey in 1993, that hatred was still there.
Thank you. This seems like a perfect night. I mean, except for the fact that Bill Laimbeer couldn't be here.
Salty. Yes.
What would you tell him if he was?
We would probably hang him up with my my number.
They cheering it too. No way. They cheering it too. Hey, that's just funny. He got a sense of humor on him. Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. This was a more in-depth and details the story between Larry Bird and Detroit Pistons, man. Very good. Man, you enjoyed this reaction, give that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new to the channel for some more sports related content, and definitely drop down your recommendations down in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.